Hi, I'm Learned Man, the host of the Kynd Podcast. Listen, where Kynd is spelled Kynd, and the Y stands for you. Two quick non-negotiables on the Kynd Podcast. One, be kind to yourself, and two, be kind to others. Today, I'm airing my interview with the Mr. Marcus Bridgewater, the author of See Marcus Grow. Now, I got to tell you, the interview was amazing, and we actually conducted the interview here in South Florida at the African American Research Library. And let me tell you, well, there was so much excitement, so much engagement. We broke the interview up into two parts. Let's jump right into part one, and also part two will follow. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Kynd Podcast. I'm your host, Learned Man.
Good. If a beautiful sound, but that's done in silence when we're allowing ourselves to be. So many of us have so much nonsense going on up here all the time. It's just loud. And it's so loud because I'm angry and I'm frustrated. Oh my God, I forgot this. I can't remember that thing. Oh, I got to go do this thing. Let me go get that thing. There's all this noise all the time. It's just so loud in our head all the time. And we don't remember to slow down, to take that breath, to engage. And so here's why that matters, right? The vibration that you hear out, you also hear in. The vibration that you hear out, you also hear in. So when you zoom out 1,000 times, it looks the same as when you zoom in 1,000 times. If your internal dialogue is not pure, concise, and of a quality pitch, then your engagement with the universe will reflect your internal dialogue. So when they say what you say matters, I want you to take this note, right? The fabric of a leaf, the cellular consistency of a leaf is very similar to that of your eardrum. The world and the universe absorbs vibration. The glass back there can translate the sound that I'm saying through this microphone. They can send a recorder to record the glass and never need to record me and have everything I've said because the universe is responding to the vibration all the time. What you say matters, and what you think matters. How we engage with the universe is something I think that we are always, regularly, in my lifetime, I'm watching people disrespect. It is one of the most powerful tools we have access to, but we do not use it or engage it with discipline or moderation, and so it has become a vice, and it has become destructive to each of us, and that is thought. Thought. We are not applying quality thought anymore to many things. We are reactive. We must be proactive. Thank you for the question.
Listen, that's nowhere on this paper, as you can imagine, and that's how the universe works. Who really felt that? Raise your hand.
Oh, shucks.
I know. It's real. It's real. So it's not about convincing. It's about, do you feel it, right? Do you feel it? Like, listen to the words. Listen to the vibration. Do you feel it? If you feel it, question it. Understand it. Look into it. And that's what we're doing right here. It's very important. We were over at Bridgewater State's Early Learning yesterday. You were in the front with the kids. You're walking around. You met all the dads. We did Take Your Dad's Day there early. It's one of the newer schools, a redefining school. And I was walking, and this amazing young lady had her daughter, and her daughter was walking, and there was a mushroom. And she was being busy, so I wanted to distract her to pay attention to what was right there. So I have a question that really centers around mushrooms, okay? The mushrooms. Because who saw mushrooms leaving your house this morning? I did. Because it's rainy season and they pop up everywhere. I saw several. Now, can you elaborate on how the resilience found in nature, like mushrooms growing through challenging conditions, translates to the resilience individuals and communities need when they are facing challenging times?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so First off, every one of you is mostly mushroom. I know it sounds crazy, but like look into it. Like you are mostly fungi. I kid you not, it was one of the craziest things to find out, but I am not just pulling your tail. We're all mostly mushroom. So like when you consider what that means and like how much disrespect that we show mushrooms, right? Just for a moment stop and appreciate what it means that we're showing the disrespect to ourselves. Right? And so when I think about like just that fabric and ethos, we don't respect where we come from. We don't respect the similarities in the creatures right next to us. We look at mushrooms and, right, the amount of us that feel that way. Now, why is that? Well, that's because a lot of them are not to be messed with. But that doesn't mean that they should be treated with such disgust, right? So, mushrooms remind me of many things. One, that life is resilient because despite where you got anything, mushrooms are likely to pop up. They are life's force to convert energy into something that can be used for growth. Every one of us has that potential. How many of you have been in a really sticky or bad situation and something inside you pushed you to see how to solve that issue, solve that problem? Like if you stop for a moment and you appreciate any religious entity, you would stop and see that that force is well alive right around you in mushrooms. Mushrooms work in a crazy way. They work through a web. The mushroom that you see is a part of the result of having the mycelium having grown. There is an entire network that had to be placed before you saw that one mushroom. Well, the same is to be said about every one of us. We don't just come from nowhere. We all had to have come from somewhere, had to have grown from something. So when you start looking at the mushroom and the type of mushroom, well, all of a sudden you start to be able to think about the soil and its sourcing. Consistency. So all of a sudden I start seeing a kind of consistency in each one of us. There's so much to be said about our life experience that makes us who we are, and we share so many of those experiences with our neighbor. When we start to look at life that way, all of a sudden, we're a walking symbiosis of similarity. Opportunity to learn about myself by looking at someone different. That's how I see mushrooms. It's a fascinating and underutilized tool right in front of us.
Too bad you didn't tell us how you really felt. Listen, that's the beauty of it. And there's an opportunity. There's something called the negativity bias that a lot of times when our mind first thinks of something negative. And today we get to walk out of here and think, when I see the mushroom, nothing but positive is there. Now don't try to eat it. Now. Buy your mushrooms from the ground.
I'm not telling you to go eat mushrooms from the ground. That is not it. No.
We want to be very clear. They're beautiful and everything. I'm going to self-report. I take pictures of them all the time randomly. I zoom all the way in on them. I use the portrait mode on the iPhone. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that today? I apologize.
Oh, man. Any Android users in the building?
One.
Shout out to you all. Cool.
iPhone users, stand. Avengers. So listen, what advice would you give someone about gardening, regardless of their experience or level? And do you have a favorite plant? And I repeat it. So the other night when we were out to dinner and everything, there was all these people all of a sudden became gardeners because they were at the table with you, but we're not going to talk about them. It's like, really? You probably never had a plant. No, they were amazing. So anyway, I'm going to repeat that. What advice would you give anyone about gardening, regardless of their experience?
So I'm going to stand up for this one because I wanted to be extra visual for you all. Okay, and this applies to quite literally everything. So when I talk about it for gardening, I'm talking about it also on a larger perspective for life. Okay, so everything, everywhere, and every experience that you have is an opportunity to learn. So every plant that I engage with and every plant that dies is an opportunity to learn. And learning lets me go about my day being free. Problem. Okay, hold on. I'm learning. Maybe I have to step over. Maybe I have to go under or go around. But I'm learning. With the plant, maybe it needs some light, right? Maybe it needs a little less water. Maybe it needs to be put somewhere else. But I'm learning. Conversely, if I am not learning, I'm building up a barrier. So I don't look at it. I'm not good at that. Not good at that. My narrow lane. Eventually, I find myself boxed in by barriers I created because I did not stop to address the issue at hand and learn. Now, there is a difference, right? Sometimes I need to build a boundary because over there is not great. But when it's a boundary, it's on purpose and I can talk to other people about it. The barriers I avoid. And the amount of people I've met who have boxed themselves in and labeled themselves shut. What I will tell you is to learn and to be reminded that you, like the plant, are resilient if you are stacking chips of learning. The more you do that, the more you are free to pay it forward. And the next thing you know, when you do cross an obstacle, it's nothing. So simple every time. So I found that I have right now probably 1,100 plants or so, and I've likely killed 2 or 3 along the way, right? If not more. But the fact is, now when I engage with any plant, regardless of where it's from, I have an entire force of learning I can apply to engage with that plant to establish a relationship. And that's the other part. Learning, right, helps you help others. You are a pillar of your community. And when you're reminded that every time you take those steps and you learn, you can help someone else address their barrier so they start to learn, all of a sudden now we're living in a forest of creativity.
Oh, beautiful, right? Forest of creativity. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3.
Forest of creativity.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm just going to add to those blocks and those barriers and those walls. I'm going to stand up. What I was just going to add is that build your home. A home is a shelter. You have doors and windows. So use the shelter. When it's time to learn something new, open the window. When you need to go out the door, go out the door, but you are in a safe place when you have a home and you have those walls and you're really protected. So it's important that we do protect our space and understand, but we can't be afraid of the lessons, the challenges, the love, the respect. Have a relationship. Teach your children these type of things so that they can navigate. What's the name of the book? Right, we gotta do what? Grow. We have to grow. And actually, Marcus, what we're going to do, we have a good time. What you talking about, Willis? All right. So we want to take some questions, which is perfect timing because I threw my questions right. So if you have a question and you're not afraid to come up to one of these microphones, let's make it happen. What, you want to run to the stage and bring your book, he can sign it? Is that all you got? No questions? Yes, ma'am.
Maria has one. No, I'm going to take the microphone. I'll bring the microphone to you.
Okay, awesome. So that's what happens sometimes. Right here. See? Thank you. Give her a hand. Give her a hand.
What are your current projects?
Oh, shucks. I got several current projects. One of the biggest ones I'll share with you is I'm working on a type of children's programming that I think will actually be in the likes of the great that so that people can actually go and engage with that material on YouTube and on long form media.
Jumpstart. It's why it's called Jumpstart. And while we're getting the next question, you lived among monks, I understand, right?
I did live among monks for many years.
And what was the most rewarding? If you could actually give a word to describe that experience, what would that one word would be?
Surreal.
Wow, I like it. I like it. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a youth service specialist for Miami-Dade County Public Library System. What have you found most engaging with doing this for children, and what have you taken from it once you've engaged with the children?
I found that the children need both auditory, right? And the auditory needs to be dynamic, but they also need the visual. And I found that when I'm able to actually successfully do those things, and I stop, they crave engagement. They actually just want me to look in their eyes, ask them questions, and give them high fives. And it reminds me of how truly tortured our youth are, because we're all so busy. We're all too busy to actually nurture the little people where they are, the way they need. And it's an unfortunate thing to have watched. So what I hope to do is encourage more people to find it in themselves to be more kind, apply more patience, and seek more solutions so that we can all be more positive.
That's powerful. We have a question. Time for another question here? Yes, okay, awesome. You're up.
And then I'll leave the audience with just one thought.
Okay. And right before that thought, I have something to say to you.
All right, you got that.
Okay, I have a question, but I also want my book signed. So, my name is Georgette Spratling, Assistant Director at the North Miami Public Library. I believe in things coming full circle in your life. And with you saying you and your mother being adopted by this family, and you were surrounded by the environment, trees, plants, animals, what have you. And I'm assuming that was, as a child, that was your comfort. You were at peace in that place.
In the woods, I was, yes.
Right. So when you came back around in your adult life and plants came back into your life, do you feel like that brought you back a little bit of peace as it was when you were younger?
So one of the things I skirted over in the story, at the monastery, I spent most of my time out in the woods on the 40 acres in Boston. I spent most of my time in the trees. So I befriended owls, chipmunks, deer, all kinds of wildlife in those trees. And so, yes, it was during that time that I was like, oh man, I'm a nature guy. Like, the monks don't shave, they don't do, I had a beard out to here. I was just like a kind of woody guy, right?
Pictures.
And I was living that way for quite some time. But I had really connected with nature, and that's why I talk so much about peace, balance, and harmony. I had actually achieved those things. I had true peace. I had achieved an incredible amount of balance, and I had found the harmony so much so that I could actually engage with all the life in that area. So yes, it did bring me full circle. But when I got pulled out of that, and I got taken into the 90-hour weeks, all of a sudden, I missed nature. And I needed nature, and so I tried to turn my house into a jungle, and that's how I live now.
We got 60 seconds, and there is a quote that basically says that the meaning of life is to find your gift or your talent, and the purpose of life is to truly give it away. And for me, I already have the answer to this. Do you feel like you found your purpose, and you're actually doing what you need to be doing?
I know I've found part of my purpose. I've been acting on what purpose I have all the time. I have a whole talk about purpose, drive, and impact. I'm very conscious of those things. And my purpose, my last name's Bridgewater, and I think quite literally, because Marcus means war, like I've been at war to try to bridge the gap that we've created between one another. And so I know that that's my purpose. I think what I'm doing right now is in line with that purpose, and I'm acting on it. Have I achieved the true purpose yet. I don't know until I actually get to hug one of you guys and feel that smile. So that's how I know that I'm like moving in the right direction.
So that's the first hug back there. She's jumped up all the way to like 7 feet. I don't know what's going on with her. Everything, that's awesome. You said you were going to close this out.
Okay, so what I want to leave you all with is this thought that has meant a lot to me. Okay, so first off, every choice we make is a seed planted in the forest of our future. The more we plant seeds of love, kindness, patience, and positivity, the more wholesome roots we will have. Wholesome roots turn into trees of prosperity that yield fruits of success that we can all enjoy. I hope to live in that forest with you. So please join me in planting those seeds today.
Let's stand up and give Marcus a big round of applause. That's awesome, man. Good stuff.
Thank you,
Good
man.
stuff. How was my hair during the interview? And most time it messes up. Okay, great. I was going to tell you to fix it during the interview. Wow, thank you. What's next?
Well, we wondered if you would use some of that positive energy.
I just want to say thank you again for tuning in for my interview with the Mr. Marcus Bridgewater. I am Learned Man, the host of the Kynd Podcast. If you're not already subscribing, please subscribe, share with a friend. I'll see you soon.